Oh, could you be any more awkward? What is this, a thank you email after a job interview? The social ineptitude is dripping off your text.
I think Geist just wants me to myself. Hi, I'm Vi, and today we're playing this game called Mine, 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 and as I say it out loud now, it kind of just reminds me of those seagulls from Nemo, but that's besides the point. Apparently, we've had a stalker since we were a child. If you're triggered by that, probably click off now, because we're going. There's a man that follows me. Great start. I sit in the cafe typing at my laptop as I sip the final dregs of my iced coffee. Shit, that's going too fast. Wait, it's going too fast. Okay, so it is auto. Hey, my bad. I look up, gazing over at the top of the screen to the seat opposite me. He's sitting there. He wasn't sitting there before, but I'm not surprised to see him. He vanishes from time to time. There was a blissful period where he didn't appear for an entire weekend. Still, even when he's not visible, I know that he's always around. Watching. Waiting. Ominous. Oh, hello. Well, at least he's not bad looking, guys. He's a young man dressed in sharp, crisp clothes. Some might even call him handsome. He crosses one leg over the other and leans back, enjoying the aroma of his espresso before taking a sip. He never takes his eyes off me. That's some interesting Illuminati necklace he's got going on. I focus my gaze on the laptop screen, trying to avoid looking at his face. I was in the middle of typing a sentence, but I can't remember the continuation. For a minute, I stared blankly at the document, typing, deleting, and retyping the same word over and over as a cold, prickling sensation washes over me. The man finally speaks. His voice is calm, but reassured. He talks with the quiet confidence of a university professor.
This is a nice cafe, isn't it? It's your favorite. It's cozy and quiet, and the coffee is good. It's not too expensive either.
Brother, he has an accent. An English one at that. I don't respond. The man continues to chat, so we're just ignoring him.
All of the employees are kind. They're generous, allowing students to work here for so long. Though, you've already been here for 30 minutes. It was fairly empty when you first arrived, but it's going to be crowded soon. People always drop by to kill time before their evening classes. Don't you think it's about time to leave?
Is this our conscience? I have a drink. We paid for our time. The man picks up the plastic cup and shakes it, rattling the ice cubes. He cocks his head and looks at me, raising an eyebrow.
You had a drink.
See, this is why I milk my drinks whenever I go to cafes. It takes me 4 hours to finish one. I'm thinking about getting some food, maybe a pastry or a bagel.
Are you? Really? When you're trying to save money, and you have sandwich fixings at home?
Wow, he just might be our conscience. I slump down, leaning my face closer to the screen as I mash the keys, filling the document with gibberish only tangentially related to the topic of the paper. The man sighs.
The employees are too kind. They won't tell you to leave, even if you're being a bother. You're a paying customer after all. A paying customer that sat here for 30 minutes after getting a single coffee and insists on taking up an entire 2-person table for just one person.
Why is this guy such a hater? He's our number one hater.
Let's go home, okay?
1 minute later, and I'm tossing my cup in the recycling. I open the door to the cafe. The cold wind outside buffets my face and chilly droplets sting my skin. Guess we're listening to the guy. As I head back to my dorm, the man walks alongside me, a satisfied and jaunty spring in his step. He tries to hold my bag, but I refuse. As he strolls along, he hums merrily. He even reaches out to hold my hand, interlacing his fingers with mine, but I shrug my hand out of his grasp. The drizzle begins to turn into a shower. The man's mood doesn't dampen. He jogs alongside me at an easy pace as I sprint home, shivering as the rain soaks through my clothes. When I unlock the door, the man waits to the side, still watching my face closely. Droplets of water fall from the hair framing his sunny expression. Before I go inside, he pulls my sleeve and lands a kiss on my cheek.
I was so happy to spend this time with you. I'll see you again soon.
Man's blushing. He walks away. When I poke my head into the hallway, he has already vanished. Our room's so bare bones yet cute. I have a puppy too. I'm surprised. Usually he follows me inside. He lingers preparing tea and snacks and soothing music. Then after an hour or two, he disappears. I'm always glad when he's gone. That man wasn't always there. I can't remember seeing him when I was in elementary school. Perhaps he was lingering somewhere watching, but he never came to talk to me. The first time I met him was in middle school, right before the school play. As I huddled backstage, frantically rehearsing my lines, I saw him for the first time. I gazed up to see a boy kneeling beside me. He looked different at that time. He was younger, and he wore a simple colored shirt and a pair of jeans. I thought he might have been a classmate, but I didn't recognize him. Thank God he wasn't like a full-grown man watching us, because that would have been real sussy. At first, I thought he was strange, but I tried to ignore him. Instead, I focused on the crumpled sheet of printer paper, repeating the words until they rolled off the tongue. Then he spoke. There's so many people watching. Can you imagine what it would be like if you forgot your lines? You're standing on stage in front of dozens of people, flapping your mouth like a dying fish. Okay, he's like the embodiment of anxiety or something. Is he not? I wonder what your classmates would think. They'd probably curse you for ruining weeks of hard work, for being the only wrench in a well-oiled machine. Rude? Oh well, I hope that doesn't happen. That'd be terrible, wouldn't it? Half an hour later, as I stood on stage in front of dozens of my parents, my mind went blank. Well, geez, I wonder why I forgot my lines. I choked, tears stinging the corner of my eyes. As I looked around the auditorium, I saw the stranger standing at the back, arms crossed as he leaned against the wall. I couldn't tell if he looked sympathetic or elated. As I walked home, he found me again, skipping alongside me. He held my hand and smiled. I screamed at him. I pushed him away and ran. When he was out of sight, I looked at my palm. He had given me some chocolate. Since then, I've seen the stranger countless times. He appears anywhere, when I'm walking around outside, when I'm shopping, when I'm in class. The only place he offers me some semblance of refuge is my room. Although he still sneaks in there sometimes, invading even my most private of spaces. I would kill. I don't know his name, but I call him Geist. How odd. I'm really curious what this dude is. I lean over my keyboard and groan. No matter what I try, the program won't output the correct answer. After over an hour of tinkering, the result is the same. I look at the clock on the bottom left of the screen. 7:03. If I recall correctly, there should be computer science tutoring scheduled from 7 to 9 tonight. God, computer science? I could never. My fingers twist in my shirt. I've never gone to tutoring before. But the assignment is due at 11 p.m. I bite my lip, staring hard at the code, hoping that some solution will magically appear in my brain. It doesn't. The clock changes. 7:04 p.m. I stand. I can do this. The alternative is missing the assignment and getting a 0 after all. Right? Just think of the worst possible scenario. Besides, who goes to tutoring? There probably won't be anyone there. I was wrong. When I'm standing outside the door, my resolve falters. I peer in through the shades covering the window. There are quite a few people inside, at least 10. A familiar cold hand lands on my shoulder. Geist smiles at me, his expression twisted into something resembling sympathy.
So many people. Better not go in. Let's go home. I'm sure that you can figure it out.
Is the room not open?
I turn. Hello, a boy with a wide smile and warm brown eyes is standing behind me. I recognize him. His sky blue Hawaiian shirt decorated with plumerias is different to forget. We're in the same lecture. He always sits in the front row. It's a nice snapback.
I got it. No key card, right? I got you.
He maneuvers around me and swipes a card through the ID reader. When it clicks, he swings the door open and holds it for me.
After
Thanks,
you.
man. Thank you. I take a deep breath and go in. The room is surprisingly crowded, probably because the problem set is due tonight. Several small groups of students are huddled over the laptops in different areas of the room, scrutinizing their screens. A couple stragglers are hunched over their university desktops, typing furiously. There seems to be a single tutor, a pale Japanese guy. He has messy dyed hair, and he's wearing a Tricone University Letterman's jacket. He's leaning on the desk next to one of the stragglers, pointing to the screen as he explains something. I go to a corner of the room and sit between two of the computers. I take out my laptop, rousing it from its slumber and navigating to my code editor. Oh my god, I hate coding so much. Geist settles into the chair next to me, crossing one leg over the other. The boy also sits next to me on the opposite side. He leaves one computer gap between us. My heartbeat hitches. Is he going to try to talk to me? I just came to get some help with my homework. I'm not ready to make small talk with a stranger. To my relief, the boy just takes out his laptop and starts typing. Need any help? The tutor walks over, his icy eyes flip between us before settling on the boy. The boy gestures to me with both hands.
That person was here first.
Look at you, troubling him. You wouldn't even have come in if he didn't hold the door for you.
Listen, you hater. You're so right.
Let's hope you can talk without tripping over your own tongue like a buffoon.
Oh my god. My cheeks heat up. I frantically click through my pages of web searches, hoping that the tutor doesn't see my open tabs or my bookmarks. Finally, I pull up the code editor. I'm running into an error and I can't figure it out. The tutor peruses my screen. It takes him less than 2 seconds to spot the issue. Wow. Easy one. Here, you've got a less than or equal sign. It should be less than. I make the correction. The tutor waits as I run the program. He directs me through a couple of tests. When he verifies that the code is working as intended, he turns to the boy. All right, what about you?
If I'm being honest, I don't really know where to start.
The tutor raises an eyebrow and grabs the chair next to the boy, making himself comfortable. Let's see. The palindrome problem? For this one, you need to make a recursive function. I don't know what that means. I return to my own homework. My brain is particularly slow today, my fingers stumbling over the keys. For some reason, I can't seem to focus on this assignment. 20 minutes pass and I'm still working on the same problem. Geist leans back in his chair as he reads a novel. The bell jar is emblazoned in elegant curved letters on the cover.
You can't focus because there are too many people here. What if they're all looking at you, seeing how horribly slow you are? Why are you even in this class when you're so terrible at coding?
Those are the legit words I've told myself when I had coding for an elective. My mouth tightens into a scowl. Next to me, the tutor has been hovering by the boy the entire time, guiding his charge methodically through the problem. However, it's slow going. Several sheets of paper covered with scrawled diagrams are lying on the desk, but the boy's eyebrows are still furrowed in confusion. The older student sighs, glancing at the other students in the room. I'll be back. Let me help them for a sec. The boy nods in understanding me. Geist claps his book shut, demanding my attention.
Why don't we go home? You got what you came for. we can finish in peace and quiet at the dorms.
I grit my teeth. I want to stuff Geist's book down his throat. But then I hear something weird. The boy's making a strange, pitiful sound in his throat. He sounds kind of like a whining puppy. He stares at the computer in dejection. His frown is so deep that it looks like a rain cloud crossed over his face. I eye his screen. Every time he runs his program, it freezes, refusing to budge until he force closes it. I look a little closer. Oh, he forgot to increment the counter variable. Should I say something? It's an easy enough fix, but my throat feels dry.
You'd better not. Can you really explain yourself clearly? You're just going to make him more confused. Besides, he didn't ask for your help. Why do you want to stick your nose somewhere it doesn't belong? If anything, he'll think you're a creep who's spying on him.
Geist's voice squeezes my vocal cords. It's difficult to breathe, let alone speak. So we can offer to help or stay silent. Why not? Give it a shot, offer to help. The boy looks up, eyes brightening in interest. I edge closer. He scoots over to make room for me. There, you didn't have an increment your counter variable, so the loop never stops running.
So that's what it was.
He types the correction and runs the program. It runs without freezing, even though it doesn't output the correct answer.
You saved me. Whew, thank you. What's your name? I'm Kalei.
Kalei. I'm Vi.
Nice to meet you. We're in the same lecture, right? I'm pretty sure I've seen you around.
I nod my head, my eyes inadvertently skirt around his face, avoiding direct contact. We return to our respective problem sets. Once or twice, he reaches out to me with a question or asks me what problem I'm working on. Every time he opens his mouth, my stomach does a backflip. Slowly, the other students file out of the room. Soon, Kalei and I are the only ones left. The door opens. A female student hovers in the doorway. She's dark-skinned. Her umber hair falls in coils, framing her face. She's wearing a bright blue tricone university sweatshirt, a pair of dark wash jeans, and a white backpack. When she sees Kalei and me, her eyes widen in surprise. She talks to the tutor, letting the door close shut behind her. Oh, are you still busy? Yeah. Take your time. I'll be over here. Kalei's eyes widen and he waves enthusiastically at the older student. She smiles and waves back. The older student goes to the other side of the room and sits in a chair. She slings her backpack over the back of the seat before taking a book out of her bag and starting to read. You know her?
Yeah. She's a TA from one of my other classes. Super nice and so smart. She gave me a lot of advice about the courses and teachers in the bio department.
I eye the clock. 9:15 p.m. I've been here too long. The tutor is only paid to stay on the clock till 9. So I start to pack my things. I'm not done, but I'll just have to finish it up somewhere else. Next to me, Kalei seems to have the same idea. I thank the icy-eyed upperclassmen and exit the computer lab. I check my phone again. 9:20 p.m. now. I still have an hour and a half to finish up and submit. I should go to the library. I can't waste valuable time walking back to my dorm. Before I have the chance to put on my headphones, Kalei jogs up beside me, his backpack bouncing on his shoulder. I instinctively tense up.
Hey, you still get some homework to do, right? Do you want to work on it together?
Okay. I'm so taken aback that I can't even think to refuse. He beams.
Shoots! Comrades until 11.
Totally.
Gee, it's done.
Kalei and I both slump on the table relieved. 10:52 p.m. We submitted our assignments just in time.
Thanks for doing it with me. I don't know what I would have done without you.
I can't resist smiling, hoping that I don't look overly awkward. It was fun. Well, as fun as doing homework could be. Kalei's easy to talk to and jokes around a bit while taking his work seriously. Seems chillin'. Seems mad chillin'. Coding didn't come easily to him initially, but once things started to click, he began to breeze through the problems much more easily. I was worried that it would be a one-sided affair, but he ended up helping me as much as I helped him. We love that. As I closed out of the coding editor, I side-eyed the blonde man sitting next to me. To my surprise, Geist is silent as a mouse. When we were finishing our homework, I noticed him glaring at the two of us over the top of the bell jar. But the blonde man didn't say a word. Even now, no venomous quips escape his lips. He just stares at Kalei, face twisted in an expression of vague irritation.
It's this late? Oh, gotta go. Early morning tomorrow. See you in class.
See ya, Kalei. Is Geist jelly? He smiles as he waves goodbye. After he leaves, my chest feels tight. Sometimes good things do happen, even to people like me. Sometimes the sun does come, even to a place where it always rains. I have to keep myself from humming as I pack up my own belongings. When I exit the library, the air is chilly, nipping at my nose and cheeks. It's completely dark and mostly empty, the lamps casting eerie pools of light over the main plaza. As I go down the library steps, Geist follows a step behind, matching my every stride. I steer my gaze ahead, trying to ignore him. I take my headphones from my neck and snap them over my ears, a welcome shield from the cold. I take out my phone and select my listening material of choice. Soothing music to continue the vibe. We're chillin'. I open up my playlist of piano cover songs. The soothing instrumentals envelop my ears, drowning out the world. I turn towards the path leading down to my dorm, but something catches my eye. Someone's waving at me. A girl wearing a white hoodie, her hair tossed into a loose bun. I recognize her, although I don't know her name. We're in the same classic seminar. What should I do? Should I wave? Should I pretend that I don't see her and walk past? Yeah, we'll wave. If we know each other, sure. I tentatively raise my hand, keeping it close to my body. Her eyes flash over me for a second before she looks past me, waving more enthusiastically. I look over my shoulder. Another girl is jogging out of the library. It's okay. Just forget about it. It happens. It happens to the best of us, dude. It feels like someone just dunked my heart into ice water. I hurriedly retract my hand, pretending that I'm adjusting the straps of my backpack. But I know that it's already too late. God, Guy's voice is piercing effortlessly, penetrating the headphones that are shielding my ears.
How humiliating. How could you have ever thought she was waving at you? You barely know her. You've talked to her a couple of times. That doesn't mean you're friends.
You need to chill, bro. My mouth tightens and my eyes burn. He's right. Of course she couldn't have been waving at me. We barely know each other. We're not friends. I turn up the volume on my phone and walk faster. I just want to get home as quick as possible. However, even with my headphones blurring over my ears, Geist's voice still haunts me.
That's right. Pretend that you don't see anyone. Pretend that you don't hear anyone. If you don't talk to them, they'll never hurt you.
I'm interested in figuring out what Geist is exactly, because he's giving me anxiety with his little commentary. I get up unusually late the next morning. Well, morning is probably generous. It's afternoon by the time I put down my phone and roll out of bed. After getting home, I stayed up until 4 a.m. on socials. I didn't even process what I was looking at. I just scrolled. We're all victims of doom scrolling, aren't we? I can hold my newborn kitten in one hand. Famous influencer acts like a jerk for the 50th time this week. Modern dating sucks, and we'll all die alone. It was stupid and pointless, but I just wanted to escape. To overload my brain with so much stimulation that I could forget my troubles. I sit up. My head aches. My stomach growls, clawing at my insides. Well, I guess I should eat something. When I enter the cafeteria, a menagerie of scents assault my nose. There's the typical array of brunch items, eggs, pancakes, sausage, fruit, and yogurt. There's also a limited section of normal lunch dishes. I peruse the menu that's posted near the entrance. Usually I grab something quick and portable that I can take to the park or to my dorm room, like a smoothie or a packaged sandwich. But today, I eye the hot food station, my mouth watering. I would have to eat at the cafeteria, but I look around the hall. There aren't too many people here, just a couple of stragglers. It's late for lunch, so most of the students have already come and gone. My grumbling stomach wins out over any reservation to have about eating in public. I really want to eat the... Oh, curry sounds really good. I'm not sure what goulash is, but braised pork sounds really good too. But I'm a basic bee. You can't go wrong with macaroni and cheese. The student worker dishes out a generous serving of macaroni and cheese. I take it to a table in the corner. I dig my spoon into the pasta, admiring the white luster of cheese and sprinkling of gold breadcrumbs on top. The creaminess is heavenly. It only takes me a few minutes to finish off half the dish.
You! Mind if I sit here?
Not at all. Actually, I almost choked on my food. Kalei is standing next to me, holding a tray with a grilled cheese sandwich, a container of sweet potato curly fries, and a glass of cola. I raise a hand to cover my coughs and gesture to the seat in front of me. Kalei beams and sits down.
Didn't think I'd see you here. Did you manage to get any sleep last night?
No. A bit. I'm barely able to get the words out. I'm still frazzled by the sudden intruder at my table.
We see what happened because you decided to sit here. Now this guy found you, and you'll have to eat the rest of your lunch trying to have awkward small talk with someone you barely know.
His commentary is tiring me out. The familiar blonde man is sitting next to me, sipping an iced coffee. He glares at Kalei. He looks like he wants to strangle the boy. Kalei sets his tray down and takes a big bite of sandwich, melting cheese oozing between his fingers onto his plate. He chews and swallows before speaking.
Man, Comp Sci is so much tougher than I thought it'd be. I took it because I thought it would be easier than taking an actual math class, but somehow it's even worse.
Bruh. He pushes his container of sweet potato fries towards me, but I shake my head. He takes the fry and chomps it in half.
How's it for you? Hard?
Terrible. It's tough. I don't really get it at all. Kalei nods, taking another bite of his sandwich. I look down. He only just sat down, but the chat is already petering out. I can't keep up a conversation with this guy. I can only hope that he'll eat quickly and leave me alone. Kalei puts his grilled cheese down. He wipes his fingers on his napkin before taking out his phone.
Hey, do you mind if I add you on TryMessage? None of my friends are taking Comp Sci, so I don't have anyone to suffer with me. Please?
Oh, yeah. Before I can even process what he asked, I'm already fumbling my phone out of my pocket. I nearly drop it.
What's your ID?
Oh no. My pulse quickens as I open up the app that I have never opened up before. Ugh. On the inside, I'm screaming. It's prompting me to make an account. The guy says finish his coffee. He crosses his legs, turning sideways on the chair to face me with an amused smirk on his face.
No. Better not let Kalei see that. He'll find out that you're a hopeless loner. After all, you didn't even bother making an account because you don't have a single friend to add on TryMessage.
Just one thing after the other, isn't it? Sorry, give me a sec. Forgot to update my phone. It's auto-updating now. Can't you just ask him for his and say I'll add him later? Ask for his ID.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I drop my phone under the table and frantically input my information. It feels like I'm dismantling a bomb.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Dude. I want to strangle the smirking blonde man. I hurriedly change my profile pic to a random picture from my downloads. I got it.
Shoot.
We add each other on TryMessage. His profile pic is a banana wearing sunglasses, and the tag under his name simply says "Living Life."
No way!
Yeah, man. What? Did I do something wrong? Is my profile weird?
Is that Detective Dog?
But the what? I look closer at the picture that I chose for my profile pic. Kalei is right. I had inadvertently chosen a fan art of the main character from my favorite movie series, Detective Dog. I can feel my cheeks burning and my heart sinks. Why? Why? Next to me, Geist is doubled over, chuckling uncontrollably.
Wow, you didn't even make it 10 minutes before showing him what a weirdo you were. An adult that still watches cartoons for children. Might as well tell him that you still wet the bed too.
Literally, screw this guy. I just thought the art was nice. I don't.
I love Detective Dog.
Hey, yo. What?
What?
I used to watch that series so much when I was a kid. I stopped watching the movies for a while, but I was feeling nostalgic last year and I started to watch them again. They're actually so much better than I remembered, and I noticed so much about them that I didn't appreciate when I was younger.
That's the beauty of nostalgia, guys.
Like how dogs' addiction to dog treats is a metaphor for alcoholism, and how the tyranny that the cats have over the city is based on imperialism. What? And when Dog stops wearing his collar, he's freeing himself from both his abusive relationship with his wife and the generational trauma that the cats have inflicted on his family.
Wow. As Kalei continues to chatter about the symbolism of the third Detective Dog movie, I'm at a loss for words. I've only met a handful of people who still remember Detective Dog. I can still see their expressions of derision in my mind, poisoning my love for the franchise. I've never met anyone who saw it as anything more than a silly children's cartoon before. Kalei gradually stops talking. He rubs the back of his neck, apparently realizing how long he had been rambling.
Oops. I got a little excited. People don't really remember Detective Dog, you know? What's your favorite entry in the series?
Oh, I guess the fifth, Detective Dog versus the Virtual Phantom. I thought the surrealism of the film was so interesting, and for once it focused less on the mystery and more on the dog's past as part of the police force, and the guilt and trauma that he has as a result. It's also the first film that really explores the corruption inherent in dog society without blaming everything on the cats. Kalei leans forward, sipping at his soda as he nods. We're such nerds, guys. I try to restrain myself, but the words tumble out of my mouth before I can catch them. Before long, I'm subjecting Kalei to a 30-minute long spiel about the symbolism of the bananas in the film. Still, he never looks annoyed or disinterested. He listens the entire time in rapt attention. When I'm alone, he brings up his own thoughts, and soon we're engaged in a lively conversation about the use of food metaphors in the series. Before I know it, it's 3 p.m. We take our plates to the tray, return together, and then we start walking back to the dorms. He lives in the building next to mine. We wave to each other. I take my ID card to swipe into the building. It is only then that I realize that Geist has been standing next to me the entire time. He's eerily quiet, his face as cold as a block of ice. He follows me into my dorm room without saying a word. Even as I start on my classics homework, Geist lingers. He crosses his arms and leans against the back wall, watching me. This is a first for him. When he follows me inside, he usually clings to me and doesn't stop talking until he decides to leave. I open up my textbook. Fine. It doesn't matter if he stays, just as long as he's quiet. I spend the afternoon and the early evening doing my homework. During that time, Geist doesn't leave, but I ignore him. My mind is still running with the cheerful memories of my lunch with Kalei. When it gets dark, I sneak out to the common room and make myself some pasta. I lie on my bed, my stomach full of cheap carbs. My favorite. I fish my phone out of my pocket and I unlock it. The try message icon catches my attention amidst the mess of apps on my homepage. I click the icon and navigate to Kalei. I press on the box and start to type a message. However, when the keyboard pops up, my fingers tremble. The mattress creaks. Geist has left his home against my back wall. He's lying on his side next to me, his head propped up on one hand. He smirks.
What are you doing? He just asked for your info to be polite. He doesn't actually want to be your friend. He doesn't like you. Why would he? This afternoon, he was just tolerating you. He was being nice, listening to you blabber ad nauseum about things he couldn't care less about. If you text him, he'll just shudder and think, this person again, so soon. How clingy are they?
Honestly,
Save
what a
him some
hater.
headache. Don't
Blah,
text
blah,
him.
blah, blah, blah. My hands freeze up. What if Geist is right? What if Kalei really just was being nice? If I text him, I'll be a bother. But I flop onto my side, facing away from Geist. He snorts. What do I say? Can't sound too casual, we're not that friendly, but I shouldn't sound too formal either. Should I add emojis? How many? Should I say hi or hello or hey, would thanks or thank you be better? Should I apologize for talking so much, or should I thank him for listening? After typing and retyping the message several times, I eventually come up with something I'm happy with. Hi. Sorry to bother you. I just want to say it was really fun talking to you today. Thanks. As soon as I hit the send button, I smash my head into the pillow. Geist sighs.
Oh, could you be any more awkward? What is this? A thank you email after a job interview? The social ineptitude is dripping off your text.
I think Geist just wants me to shoot myself. I groan. I wish there was an unsend button. It's fine. It's fine. It's literally fine. My phone buzzes. I squeeze my eyes shut, smothering my face with the pillow as I get ready to look at the screen. Kalei. Hey, you texted me. Yay. No, I should thank you. It was super fun talking about Detective Dog. Dog buds. Woof. Oh wait, that's a cat. I chuckle. Yeah, it is. Woof. Kalei sends a cute sticker of a dog lying on a beach. I respond with a sticker of a dog lying under a blanket, saying that he doesn't want to go to work. We trade stickers like that for a few minutes until our chat log is a veritable dog park. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. Are you gonna go tutoring Monday? Go to tutoring Monday.
Don't do something that you'll regret.
I glare at Geist. I'll be there. Yay, I'll see you there. Drop my phone on the blanket and roll onto my stomach. My heart is racing, but it's not from nervousness for once. I actually feel happy, excited even. I'm looking forward to Monday. Kalei and I go to tutoring together on Mondays and Fridays. Afterwards, we usually grab a late night snack. We also text a lot between classes. In the evenings, on the weekends. We chat about a lot of things, though our conversations usually gravitate towards movies. He loves talking about film even more than me, if that's possible. It seems like he has watched every movie produced in the last 30 years, ranging from rom-coms to biopics to horror. My friendship with Kalei is so easy that it's almost scary. Chatting with him feels like I'm being carried down a gentle river by the movement of the water. It's not difficult or forced, unlike what I'm used to. I think that Kalei... We want to be friends, or something more. Kalei's nice. Let's spice it up. You think Kalei is kind of cute? He is. I don't think he would ever be interested in me that way, but a month after I start going to tutoring with Kalei, I'm sitting at my desk, scrolling away on my laptop. I often spend my Saturday evenings browsing random online marketplaces. It's relaxing, and I feel like it's a bit of a treasure hunt. I snagged quite a few vintage DVDs for bargain bin prices. Right now, I'm searching for my White Whale. I've invested countless hours searching for this movie, but to no avail. My eyes brighten. I finally found what I've been looking for. Young Detective Dog. The adventure begins. It's not part of the original Detective Dog timeline. Instead, it was a minor film that was released direct-to-video, detailing Detective Dog's impoverished origins as a street puppy. It's a valuable piece of the Detective Dog canon, filling the gap between the prequel series before Detective Dog and the Butler-era comics, detailing his life as a servant to noble cat family. Dude, this Detective Dog lore is insane. Is this real? I'll have to look it up after, TBH. Young Detective Dog was outsourced to a smaller animation studio. As a result, it never received that much marketing and only a limited number of prints. It's the only Detective Dog film that I haven't managed to get my hands on, until now. I don't even look at the cost that carefully. I've been searching for this film for months, and I'm willing to pay almost any price. As I'm checking out, my phone buzzes. Kalei. Hey. So, we were talking about that Mad Gun sequel to yesterday? You want to go see it? I was thinking about going tomorrow. Oh, the new Mad Gun movie. Kalei and I had chatted about it on our way back to the dorms. Admittedly, I wasn't a fan of the Mad Gun franchise, but I had read rave reviews about the new sequel. I couldn't deny that my interest was piqued. I'm about to text OK when a hand drops my phone. The pale tapered fingers wrest the device from my grasp. Geist strolls to the other side of the room, waving the phone idly.
You'd better not.
Why not? I can spend time with whoever I want. Geist comes back and leans against the side of my desk.
Texting is easy. You have time to think about what you'll say, and there's no pressure to answer right away. Going to tutoring is fine too. After all, you're mostly working on homework. But going out with him will be different. You'll have to talk to him the entire time. Can you really do that?
I snatch the phone out of Geist's grasp. However, when I open up Try Message, my palms are sweaty. What if Geist is right? I tell Kalei, okay, because we're gonna be okay. I grit my teeth. Making conversation is no big deal. I can do it. Talking with Kalei is easy anyway. I'd love to go. Great. I'll come pick you up at 11. Respond with a thumbs up. Geist leans over me, his displeasure slathered over his face. He smells like mint, sharp and cold.
I warned you. Just wait. You'll see what happens.
Dude. He's so annoying. I pick up my pillow and throw it at him, but he's already gone. I sit on my bed, breathing hard. The blind man is gone, but the butterflies in my stomach aren't going away. Instead, they're just flapping their wings more and more violently, churning my guts into soup. I hope that Geist is wrong.
Man, that was awesome. I was wondering if it was going to be some cheap cash grab, considering it's been 20 years since the last installment. But it was really interesting. I liked how the original protagonist became the mentor to the next generation.
As we exited the cinema complex, Kalei's eyes lit up. Pointed to the food court, the bright signage beckoning us inside.
Ugh, I'm starving. Wanna grab some grinds?
Hell yeah. I am hungry. I feel like eating a Loco Mocoooo. Oh my god, my favorite. I go to the Hawaiian plate lunch shop and order a Loco Mocoooo. Minutes later, I carry my tray back to the table. Kalei is already sitting down. A glistening bowl of rice topped with spicy mayo, slathered tuna, that's also my favorite, sitting in front of him. He splits his chopsticks.
That looks pretty action.
I'm just hungry, dude. I take a bite of the Loco Mocoooo, making sure to get a big spoonful of rice, gravy-topped hamburger, and creamy egg yolk.
Anyway, that was so good, right? I especially like the scene where the sergeant finally puts down his uniform.
I nod, chewing my food as I listen to him. Kalei talks for several minutes, rambling about his favorite scenes and the acting performances of the leads. When his steam is all used up, he scratches the back of his neck and returns his attention to his bucket bowl.
Sorry, I did it again. I talk so much. My friends usually have to tell me to shut up.
It's cool. It's okay. I like listening to you.
Really?
You do, right? He looks embarrassed.
Oh, thanks. That's nice of you. No one has ever said that to me before. What do you think of the movie?
I liked the characters. I really liked the characters. I actually found the new additions to be likable and well written. I thought the new female pilot was especially interesting. Her relationship with her sister was especially endearing and gave her some depth. Kalei nods, listening intently as he chewed on a slice of pickled radish. We talk about the movie for several minutes, but the conversation quickly slows down. To be honest, I'm not all that familiar with the Mad Gun series. I watched the original film years ago, and I just read the synopsis as a refresher. This movie was excellent, but it was just a very solid, entertaining action film overall. I can't think of much to talk about. But yeah, it was really good. I'm glad that we came to see it. My voice trails off. Kalei grins sheepishly and takes a bite out of his Pokeball before washing it down with a sip of Coke. What was that look? Oh no. Oh no.
Uh-oh, the conversation stopped. What will you do now?
He's standing behind me. He slides his hands across my shoulders, tracing my clavicle. Feels like he's about to grab my throat and strangle me.
See? I told you that this would happen. He's getting bored. He's realizing that you're not the interesting person that he thought you were. Soon he'll regret ever inviting you to hang out with him.
My skin feels cold. I look at Kalei. He's looking at a nearby shop selling rice balls. He's probably thinking about how boring this conversation is, how much he regrets inviting me out, how much he regrets being my friend. I take another bite, but it's hard to swallow. Food feels like glue in my throat. I'm lost
Why
to vomit.
don't you excuse yourself to the bathroom? Stay in there a while. And when you come out, you can pretend that you got food poisoning. At least that way he'll think that you're miserable company because you're ill, and not because you're just a miserable person.
Sheesh. I managed to choke down the bite of food. Geist is right. Wouldn't even be a lie. My food is settling uneasily in my stomach. I place my hands on the underside of my seat, getting ready to scoot back from the table.
Do you ever wonder what life would be like if you were the last person alive?
Yes. What? My retreat is interrupted by Kalei's sudden interjection.
No, like, seriously. Post-apocalyptic movies always focus on the survival aspect. But what if that's not the problem? Assume you've got a shelter and all the food, water, and electricity you want. But you're completely alone. You've got all this time on your hands. What would you do with it?
Is this what he was thinking about? The hypothetical apocalypse? What made you think about that all of a sudden? It's pretty random.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes these thoughts pop up in your head, you know? And they just keep scratching at the inside of your skull until you let them out.
I get it. He takes his hat off and ruffles his hair, looking a little bit embarrassed. He puts the hat back on. I guess I would watch all the movies I can before I die, stay alive, travel. Most likely travel. Why not? See everything I wanted to see. See all the sights, visit every country that I could, have grand adventures. What about you? What would you do if everyone disappeared on you?
I guess I would travel around and look for people.
I thought you said that you were the last person alive. You already know that there aren't any other people, right?
Well, I think if I actually believed that, I wouldn't be able to handle it. Knowing that I'm all alone in this huge world.
It is pretty anxiety
If I
inducing.
keep searching, then I can hope that I'll find someone someday. Even if it doesn't happen, the thought would keep me alive. You know?
Some deep shit. I understand Kalei's feelings, but I can't relate. I've thought more than once that if I was all alone in the world, then it wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't have to worry about dealing with anyone. My mind could finally stop screaming at me. I could finally be at peace.
Sorry for killing the mood with that weird question.
No, it's thought-provoking. It's kind of weird, but I get it. Sometimes you can't control your thoughts. And it was an interesting question. I just needed some time to think about it. Kalei chuckles awkwardly and leans forward.
How's your food? Ooh, looks cherry.
Oh, it's good. You want a bite? Somehow I feel a little more relaxed. Kalei's bizarre question had me knocked out of the maelstrom of my thoughts. He hadn't been obsessing about me or my shortcomings. He had just been in his own head, wondering about something that had nothing to do with me. I almost laughed. Of course, Kalei wasn't focused on me the entire time. I'm not the sun. He doesn't revolve around me. He has his own random, fleeting thoughts. After we finished lunch, we dropped by a charity store and browsed through their used DVDs. We don't talk the entire time, but at the very least, I don't feel tempted to run to the bathroom when the conversation slows down. That's good. That's good. When I flop onto my bed later that evening, exhaustion envelops my body. But it's a different kind of exhaustion than normal. A good kind of exhaustion. Wow. And there. I admire the concluding paragraph to my classics paper. It came out rather well, if I do say so myself. I'm spending another Saturday evening at the library, as I often do. It's been a couple of weeks since Kalei invited me to go to the movies. It's already 10 p.m. I groan. Hopefully I have something in my dorm room to eat for dinner. I pack up the laptop, books, and papers scattered over the desk and head to the library exit. As soon as I open the door, I freeze. There are hundreds of people outside. The plaza is filled with blaring music. It's a boisterous rock song with dramatic crescendos. The theme song from a recent Halloween-themed blockbuster.
It's Halloween. They must be having a party.
Wow. It's getting close to Halloween now. Geist is still standing next to me. He strides in front. When he's standing at the end of the steps, he turns back towards me and bows, gesturing towards the crowd with one arm. He's acting like he's ushering in my arrival to a royal ball.
Shall we go?
I take a step down. My legs are shaking. Mosh. There's so many people. They swarm around me, pressing against my body. The smell of smoke is sickeningly sweet, wrapping around me like a vice. A tall student rams my shoulder, putting a few drops of beer in my hoodie. Jesus. I try to breathe, but no matter how deeply I inhale, it feels like my lungs are being filled with sand. I take a step. It's like I'm wading through mud. The music is so loud, I can't even hear myself think. There are flashing lights everywhere. The students are wearing glow sticks around their necks and wrists. They look like fireflies, swaying in the dark. Where's Geist? For once I look around for him. He can see that blonde head, a familiar beacon in a sea of shadows. But he's nowhere to be found. My vision is getting blurry. The shadows of the students around me all blend together, pressing against me, squeezing the breath from my lungs. My legs buckle, and soon I'm kneeling on the pavement. I try to stand up, but I'm shaking too much. If I move, I'll topple over. My heart is pounding, beating like a war drum. I feel like I'm going to be sick. I look up. Everyone is staring. They look down at me, their eyes driving into me like knives. Some of them turn to each other, talking, gossiping about me.
Here you are, the center of attention, the star. Go on, put on a show. Show them what a mess you are.
I can't see him, but I know that Geist is behind me. It's getting hard to hear. It's getting hard to see, too. Feels like I'm drowning in the depths of the ocean. The only thing that I can hear clearly is Geist's sardonic voice whispering in my ear. The only thing that I can feel clearly is his breath against my neck. I'm gasping for breath. I'm suffocating.
Hey, are you okay?
A fuzzy figure is kneeling in front of me. I can't see who it is. My vision is too blurry. When I don't reply, he puts a reassuring hand on my shoulder, urging me to stand.
Come on, let's sit down somewhere.
Kalei to the rescue. He tugs on my sleeve, leading me through the people surrounding us. As we walk, the crowd thins, the music quiets, and the smell of smoke weakens. He opens the door and guides me inside. I look around. My mind is still fuzzy, but I can tell we're back in the library foyer. The boy sits me down on one of the couches. It's hard to focus. I try to concentrate on his feet. I can only think about one thing. Why is this guy wearing socks with sandals? It's quiet now, so quiet that I can hear how fast my heart is beating. It's still racing, firming in my ears like a hummingbird's wings. My skin feels cold and clammy.
Do you mind if I sit with you?
Not at all. I don't mind.
Okay, wait here. I'll be right back.
He returns a few minutes later, settling a cold bottle of water against my shin. The chilly condensation tingles against my skin, grounding me. I look up. Kalei's brow is furrowed with worry. It doesn't suit his face, normally so sunny and cheerful. Guilt gnaws at my chest.
Are you sick? Did you drink too much? Or are you having a panic attack?
Probably the latter. A panic attack. I never considered that before. I had similar episodes in the past, but I just told myself that everyone feels nervous sometimes. My episodes were normal. I was normal.
Now he knows that you're a freak. Someone who can't even handle normal life. A person who's constantly on the verge of a complete mental breakdown.
Geist is sitting next to me on the couch, arms draped around my shoulders. His cold fingertips are tickling my earlobe. It feels like I'm being buried alive. I think I'm having a panic attack. I say it quietly, the words stumbling over my tongue. I almost don't want Kalei to hear. It's strange labeling what is happening to me like this. Part of me is glad to give it a name. To put a face on this monster that has tormented me for so many years. Part of me is terrified of this label, this brand singeing my skin, marking me as someone irreparably broken.
Got it. Okay. Breathe with me, okay? In. Out. In.
You're so sweet.
Out. Good job. Can I hold your hand?
Yes. I nod. He grasps my hand and squeezes it. His hand is warm and reassuring as he leads me through some deep breaths.
You're okay. Everything is going to be okay. I'm here for you. I'm not going anywhere.
So wholesome. He repeats this over and over as he continues to help me breathe. With each reassurance, it feels like a rock is lifted off of my chest. Once I've calmed down, Kalei gives my hand one final squeeze before letting go.
How you feeling? All right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you.
Do you want to go home? Are you going to be okay walking through the crowd?
I nod again. Kalei helps me to my feet. I follow closely behind him as he leads me back out into the masses of people. Wild, guys. It's still suffocating, but it's different this time. Kalei walks in front of me, parting the crowd like the Red Sea. Meanwhile, I focus on the plumerias on Kalei's back, counting each flower petal. By the time that I'm finished, we're out of the heart of the gathering. There are only a few stragglers surrounding us now. I let out the breath that I didn't know I was holding. I jog up to Kalei's side. I'm sorry for bothering you. My cheeks are burning. I want to disappear, to crawl into some hole that leads straight to the center of the earth and never come back out.
It's no problem at all. I wanted to get some air anyway. Big parties like this aren't usually my thing.
Same. Geist sidles up next to me, his hand in his pocket.
Look at you. You've completely ruined his night. He could have had fun with everyone else, but he had to babysit you.
My hands hover around the headphones slung around my neck. I want to put them on, but it would be too rude with Kalei here. I'm not usually like this. I'm a little embarrassed that I act like this in front of you. Kalei doesn't look surprised. Instead, he dons a strange expression of grim understanding.
It happens to a lot of people. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
What a liar. It happens to a lot of people. Who, exactly? Has he ever even met anyone as freakish as you?
I'm your friend. I'm here to support you. Always.
Oh, how generous. He's offering to be your crutch because of how fragile you are.
Geist needs to shut up. Kalei kicks a stone lying in the path. It skips down the cement, landing in a nearby patch of flowers.
One of my relatives has a panic attack sometimes. She's brilliant, one of the smartest and kindest people I know. But she feels things a lot, you know? And it can be overwhelming. So sometimes she just needs a few minutes to process her emotions, and I hold her hand and talk her through it. It's no big deal at all.
So sweet. No big deal? Collapsing in the middle of a crowd and troubling everyone was no big deal? I don't know what to think of that. Part of me is annoyed by Kalei's flippancy, the way he dismisses my suffering with a few easy words. Yet part of me is also strangely reassured by his nonchalance. I get that. As I'm mulling over that statement, we reach my building. I fumble my ID card out of my pocket and swipe it through the reader. Thank you. I wave to Kalei and shut the door, his words ringing in my ears. I groan into my pillow. Can't believe what I did last night. in front of Kalei.
I bet he's gossiping to all of his friends right now. The weirdest thing happened to me last night. A freak had a complete breakdown in the middle of the main plaza. Crazy, right?
The blind man dangles the phone in front of my
He
face.
texted you. Shouldn't you hurry and see what it's about?
I shall. I bat the phone away and turn around. I want to stop time. I want to curl up in a corner and hide forever so that I never have to see Kalei again. We're cool, dude. Okay? The phone buzzes once more. But real life doesn't have a remote. I can't hit pause on it when I'm feeling overwhelmed. I roll back over and reluctantly accept the phone from Geist. Kalei. Hey, how you feeling? Okay? I was kind of worried. Just want to check how you're doing. You need anything? I squeeze my eyes shut, composing myself before I reply. I'm okay. I don't know what happened last night. That sort of thing doesn't usually happen to me. I'm sorry for bothering you. Nah, don't worry. I'm just glad you're good. I was wondering, are you busy tonight? Me and some friends are getting together to watch a movie. It's called The Social Experiment. Is that social media film on Netflix? Wanna come? We'll probably talk story after. Could be talking out of my ass. I don't know. There's gonna be pizza. And fun. My lips curl into a smile. After our first text exchange, the emoji has become something of an inside joke.
Yes, go on, accept. Now you can put on an encore performance. You can curl up on the floor in front of Kalei and all of his friends and have a complete mental breakdown. Again.
Sounds good. That won't happen. Last night was different. That never happens to me. There were just too many people. I actually felt that. I think I got that way once in like the square of Disneyland. There were so many people and I almost wanted to throw up. So I feel you, girl. I feel you. It's just small and private. If anything happens, I can just say I need to go to the bathroom or something. Geist places a finger under my chin, tipping my face up so that I have to look at him.
Do you really believe that? Sure, you're going to go out with a bunch of strangers and have a fantastic time. By the end of it all, you'll be best friends for life. What kind of fantasy land are you living in? Has that ever happened to you? Even once?
Geist's words radiate cold. They send chills running through my limbs, making the hairs on my arms stand on end.
If you say yes, it can only go poorly. You will embarrass yourself. You won't even get along with his friends. What if they start mocking you because of how socially inept you are? Say no.
Don't frickin' tell me what to do. Okay. It only takes a few seconds for the phone to ding with the familiar notification. Really? Yay. I'll come get you right now. Sec. When I exit the building, Kalei is already there, his cheeks and ears tinged pink from the cold. He waves excitedly to me with both hands. He leads me through the darkened campus, along the lamplit paths until we reach the student union. When he opens the door, I'm greeted by a trio of new faces. One girl and one guy are lounging on the couch in front of the TV. Another girl is unrolling paper towels and stacking them next to a couple of pizza boxes.
This is Mari, Naya, and Asher.
Nice to meet you. Naya and Asher wave in acknowledgement. Mari hands me a plate and a paper towel. Help yourself. This one is vegan. She opens the oily cardboard boxes, revealing two pizzas. One is covered in tomato sauce, vegan mozzarella, and basil. The other has basil pesto, sausage, roast peppers, and goat cheese. Ooh. I was about to go for the second one, but I'm not a fan of goat cheese, so I think the one with tomato sauce, please. I grab a slice of the tomato sauce pizza. The mozzarella is especially stringy, clinging to the card box, and I try to extract the pizza from the box.
What drink you like? Beer or soda? Or just water?
I'll have a beer. I accept a can of beer. It's ice cold. I swipe some of the condensation off before cracking it open. Kalei takes a slice of the pesto pizza and sits on the floor in front of the couch. I join him. The room dims and the TV lights up. On the screen, a lanky young man, with a mop of curly hair fields questions from a curious reporter. It's an interesting movie. The protagonist is a college student who joined his best friend's startup. They make a social network that quickly takes over the country. However, midway through the film, it's revealed that the best friend is actually an alien who's using the social network as a way to harvest information about humanity. As the film winds down, I finish the final bite of pizza. The protagonist just barely evades his best friend's ray gun and stabs him in the throat. This was, in fact, not the film on Netflix. In the final few seconds, the protagonist staggers to the console, trying to prevent the information from being sent to the mothership, but he's too late. The film's final shot is of the console screen eerily displaying "Transmission sent" in big pixelated green letters. I have no clue what's going on. Kalei gets up and flips on the light. Mari turns off the TV. The hell is that? Blatant sequel bait. I thought it was pretty good. Really ominous.
It's a fitting metaphor for online privacy, isn't it? They couldn't stop the aliens because it can't be stopped. Once you use the internet, no matter how hard you try, your information is going to be collected and used against you.
The five of us clean up, tossing the pizza boxes and cleaning the dishes. When we're done, we sit on the floor in a circle chatting about the movie. Although, to be fair, Kalei does most of the talking. What movies do you like, Vi? This
Better
question.
not tell them what you really like. After all, if you tell them that your favourite series is an animated whodunit franchise for kids starring a detective dog, they'll think that you're weird and utterly childish.
I brush aside Geist provocations. I already prepared. I watch most things, but I've been watching a lot of sci-fi stuff lately. My favorite is the Eradicator series. Oh, the one about the shape-shifting aliens that take over humanity, right? Yeah. And then the main guy travels back in time to prevent humanity from making contact so that they don't get taken over.
He's not the protagonist. The protagonist is a woman he's helping.
He's the guy on the cover, though? Kalei's side.
The guy on the cover is the villain. The villain!
I really liked it. Especially the scene where the guy jumps into the vat of acid to save everyone else.
That's the sequel.
Why do you guys always get so hung up on the details, Kalei? Let up a little.
Eradicator 2 is the best one.
Eradicator Reborn is the best one. The villain wields this part of nunchucks that turn into machine guns. Is this Terminator spin-off? I like the Eradicator 4, the one starring Holiday. That reminds me of that other movie that we watched with Holiday, the one where she has 6 months left to live, so she decides to go find her first love. That one was so good. I was crying at the end when she found her boyfriend's last love letter to her. Ending was kind of boring. Just say that you want killer robots to appear in the last 20 minutes of the movie, Asher.
60 years, 6 months was one of Holly's best performances. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that the director made the film with her in mind. It was a crime that she didn't win the Golden Galaxy Award that year.
As the conversation meanders from the topic that I had started with, I fall silent. While Mari and Asher bicker about the sentimentality of the climax 60 years, 6 months, Kalei leans over and asks if I've ever watched it, but all I can do is shake my head. Sometimes the conversation veers to movies that I have watched, and I scramble to think of something to say. Something interesting that isn't too weird or offensive, but by the time I plan my words, the others are already talking about something completely different. I feel that, especially in group talk settings.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. It's been so long since you last talked. It's just like class, isn't it? You're going to get a participation score of 0, you know.
Guys, it was nice when you were, gone for a hot second. I opened my mouth, trying to say something, but I soon closed it again.
Given up already? Oh, you've truly got an iron will. Why don't you go join the other furniture?
Furniture? How dare you? I placed my hands in my lap, focusing on wiping some of the residual oil from my fingers. At this point, if I did say anything, I just earned stares of befuddlement. Who is a stranger interrupting our conversation? Better not say anything. I'll just stay quiet and wait for this get-together to end. As Knight and Mori discuss the relationship dynamics in a gothic romance film, the conversation slows down. Kalei is listening intently to the argument, but Asher looks bored. He takes a swig from his beer before looking at me. Asher raises an eyebrow. Hey Vibe, why are you so quiet? I freeze. I hate that question. I can't remember how many times I've been asked this question. What am I supposed to say? What do you say to that? Sorry I'm quiet because I'm shy. I just don't like talking very much. I'm a bit tired. I'm not feeling it today. I don't know you guys that well, so it's hard for me to barge into this conversation. Like, why are you so loud? I'm actually kind of messed up in the head, and if I talk, you'll find out, so I'm not saying anything. There are a million answers, a million excuses, but I can never say anything. All I can do is offer a nervous laugh and say, yep, I'm quiet. Naya and Mari slowly stop chatting and look at the two of us. Kalei is already staring. I shrink under their gazes. Geist leans close, his cold breath tickling my ear.
Oh no, it seems like they found out. How long did you think that you could hide it? Your real self. You pretended to be interesting. You pretended to be a person worth talking to. But you didn't even make it 5 minutes before showing them how boring you are. What will they think of Kalei now? He stuck his neck out for you, introducing you to all of his friends. Now what will they think? They might start to think that he's a miserable failure too because he likes someone like you.
Sorry. I'm sorry for being so boring. I'm sorry for being such a killjoy. I'm sorry for ruining the mood.
You've already ruined everything. You think that begging for forgiveness will help. You're just making things worse.
Why are you? Kalei squeezes his beer can. The crinkling sound is loud in the relative silence.
Maybe it's because they think hard about what they're going to say instead of saying any old thing.
Thank you, Kalei. He prods Asher with his knee.
And why are you so loud all the time, bruh? Maybe you should learn to be a better listener.
Exactly. What a golden retriever. Asher's brows furrows and his nostrils flare. He looks pissed.
Now look at what you've done. You're ruining his friendships. Kalei is standing up for you. He's getting into a fight with his friend
Boo-hoo.
for you.
He'll get over it. I wrap my arms around myself, my knuckles whitening. I stare at my drink on the table, watching the condensation pull at the bottom. The same 5 words run around my head on repeat, screaming and screaming and screaming. I should not have come, I should not have come, I should not have come. I wish I wasn't here. I wish I was anywhere but here. Asher rolls his eyes before shoving Kalei in the shoulder. You're one to talk. You're the loudest of us all. Kalei rolls his eyes in turn, ignoring his friend's provocation.
Anyway, speaking of gothic romances, what did you think about Scarlet Tears? You mentioned that was one of your favorites from last year. We watched that a couple weeks ago.
Kalei smoothly transitions the conversation to a film that I watched. I managed to get it in a few sentences, although it doesn't take too long for the conversation to veer in a direction that I can't keep up with. However, whenever he notices, Kalei brings me back into the fold with an easy question. So sweet. Asher remains relatively quiet. His arms are crossed and his eyes are narrowed into a pointed glare aimed straight at Kalei. The other boy doesn't stop sulking until we split up for the evening, with everyone returning to their respective dorm rooms. I'm the only one who lives in a separate building. Kalei offers to walk me back. Whew. When we're outside, I cross my arms, shielding my body from the chill. I feel strangely nauseous and oddly vulnerable in a way that I can't explain. If someone cut a hole in my chest and left it open so that everyone could peer inside. Kalei scratches his nose. He looks around awkwardly before turning to face me.
I'm sorry.
For what?
They, said some pretty insensitive stuff to you. They're not usually like that.
They were only like that because you were there. You made everything awkward.
I'll make sure they're on their best behavior next time. Don't worry.
There won't be a next time. Not after you messed everything up so badly.
I'm really glad that you came.
He's lying. They always lie. He's just trying to...
We all like movies, but sometimes it feels like I'm the only one who takes them seriously, you know? They're always joking around about how bad the dialogue is or how hot the actors are. Whenever I want to talk about the story or the characters, they brush me off. Even when they don't, you can tell they don't want to talk, you know? That's interesting, or, wow, you thought about it a lot. Sometimes I feel like a weirdo, like I don't belong. So it was really nice having you there. It seems like we're on the same wavelength.
He might be lying, placating me with soothing words, but he seems sincere. I feel the same way. I really like talking to you too. I mumble the words, barely able to get them out. And weirdly I curse. I sound so awkward. What if Kalei thinks I'm lying or being insincere?
Feels like you listen to me. You really listen. I wanted to thank you for that.
Oh, he's such a puppy, guys. Guilt bubbles in my stomach. I want to protest. That's wrong. I'm not listening, not really. I'm just so wrapped up in my own thoughts all the time that I don't speak. In reality, I'm a selfish jerk who always obsessing about myself. I don't listen to you because my thoughts are constantly screaming in my head. But when I look at Kalei, his sunny smile erodes my doubts. He's genuinely grateful towards me. Even if it was accidental, I did something for him that he appreciates. I made him feel heard. I guess I did a good thing. I look around. Geist is gone. We arrive at my dorm building. Thanks for inviting me. I had fun. When I return to my room, the guilt in my stomach has morphed into something else. A strange mixture of emotions, one that I can't easily define. Guilt, nervousness, humiliation, gratitude, and something almost like pride. Around a month has passed since Kalei invited me to meet his friend. I lounge on my bed, scrolling through my feed. Is it Kalei? I scan my notifications. It's not. Instead, I got an email. I run down to the mailroom, and I talk to the student that's been manning the desk. My excitement is so high that I can get the words out without stumbling over them. Minutes later, I'm clutching the package to my chest, like it's my most precious treasure. What could it be? In my room, I carefully open the box. Oh, a DVD covered in slightly worn plastic is lying amidst the crumpled newspaper. Young Detective Dog, the adventure begins. I can't suppress the grin spreading on my face. I've been waiting to see this film for so long. I open my desk to search for my DVD player, but then I pause. I open up my desk to search for my DVD player, but then I pause. I wonder if Kalei would want to watch this? When we were talking about the franchise before, he mentioned that he hasn't watched this one. I'm not surprised. It's not available online and physical copies are hard to come by. Should I invite him over? Do it. Do it, girl. I've never invited anyone over. In fact, I've never invited anyone to hang out, period. When I did spend time with friends, they were always the ones to reach out. I've never invited anyone over. In fact, I've never invited anyone to hang out, period. When I did spend time with friends, they were always the ones to reach out. Some small, deep part of my heart always believed that if I asked someone out, they would feel burdened, that spending time with me was a chore. They had much better things to do than to be with me. But this is different, right? Kalei would want to see this movie too? And maybe, just maybe, he would have fun with me? I take out my phone, my fingers hovering over the try message icon.
Stop.
Geist is sitting on the bed leaning over me. He reaches over and tries to take the phone out of my grasp. But this time I don't let go. I wrest my hands from his grip.
What do you think is happening with that guy?
Good
What?
things?
Is he your bestie? Your dear friend? Maybe he even likes you.
Mayhaps? What's it to you? I don't want to listen to this. I push Geist off of me. I get up and grab my headphones from my desk. His voice slips past the headphones, snaking into my eardrums.
Get your head out of the clouds. He tolerates you because he wants someone to go to tutoring with. If he had anyone else, he wouldn't even look at you.
I turn away and crouch down, pressing the headphones so hard over my ears. Feels like I'm crushing my skull.
He doesn't like you. He never liked you. No one likes you.
Geist embraces me from behind, squeezing me tightly. He rests his chin on my shoulder.
I love you. I only have your best interests at heart.
What are you, bro?
The world is dangerous. I'm trying to protect you. You can't trust anyone. They all hate you. They all wish that you would just disappear from the face of the earth.
This is toxic AF. His voice is scalding and freezing at the same time. Honey that drips into my ears, burning my eardrums like acid.
If you trust them, if you let them in, they'll all hurt you eventually.
He takes the phone out of my grasp, my grip too limp to hang on any longer.
But that's okay. I'm here for you. You only need me.
I think the fuck not. Push Geist away. Geist's touch fills me with revulsion, resentment, and anger. I shove him away. He stumbles backward, hitting his head against my desk. He rubs the back of his head, glaring at me. Everyone hates you? Seems like the only one who hates me is you, Geist. Geist's eyes widen. His eyes are brimming with some emotion that I can't quite describe. It almost looks like betrayal.
I don't hate you. I love you. I care about you more than anyone else. You're my entire world. I exist for you.
Huh. You love me? When you spend all day telling me how worthless, disgusting, and unlovable I am? When you do nothing but bit me down, grinding me into dust so that you can pick up the pieces? I don't know what that is, but it's definitely not love. The floodgates are open by now. I blink quickly, trying not to let the tears flow out of my eyes as the words flow out of my mouth. Why? What's your game? You want me to feel small and laughable and hopeless so that I never feel confident enough to leave you? So that I'll always need you? Geist opens his mouth, but before closing it again, he tries to speak a couple more times before he finally finds the words. Geist opens his mouth before closing it again. He tries to speak a couple more times before he finally finds the words.
I'm just being honest with you. I don't want you to get hurt. Not when you're this fragile. Not when the slightest push will break you into 1,000 pieces.
You're so wrong. You're the only one who's hurting me.
I just wanted to help.
You're not helping. You've never helped. The tears are gushing out now, warm droplets caressing my cheeks. All you do is make me so stressed that I'm terrified to do anything, boxing me into a prison of my own thoughts so that I can't step out of it, trying to alienate me from the people around me. You liar.
I'm not a liar.
But you are. Kalei hates me, when every single thing that he has done has communicated the opposite. He says that he likes to talk to me, invites me to hang out, he wants me to meet his friends. And yet every single time you tell me that he's pretending, that he actually hated me all along. What kind of crazy hoops do you have to jump through to believe that he hates me after all that? What are you? Some kind of mind reader? To be able to tell what he's really feeling?
No. But I just know. Besides, even if he doesn't hate you now, he'll hate you eventually. It's just a matter of time.
This is wild. And if something happens later and he tells me that he hates me, so what? I'll move on. I'll live. It won't be the end of the world. I'll make new friends. I'll form new relationships. But if I'm always too scared, if I never reach out, then I'll never form bond with anyone. I'll just continue floating listlessly through life, blindly following wherever you decide to take me. I might get hurt, and that's okay. It happens. I don't want to spend my life avoiding the things I'm afraid of. I want to spend it doing the things that I actually want to do.
What do you want to do?
I don't need to think about my answer. I want to be Kalei's friend. Geist looks down at the phone, guilt marring his features. He lifts his eyes to meet mine. I stare back, unwavering. He extends the phone to me.
All right. Good luck.
I hesitate, thinking that it might be a trick before accepting the device. It's still displaying Kalei's conversation on try message. I bite my lip and send my message quickly, trying not to overthink it. Are you interested in watching a movie with me? Just got my hands on Young Detective Dog, and I thought you might want to see it. My phone buzzes immediately. Yes, I really want to see it. Right now? Right now? I wipe the tears from my eyes. I'm really in no state to see him right now. I pause before sending the next message. I've got a few things to do right now, but maybe in a couple hours? I'll be there. Can't wait. I look up. Geist is gone.
Hey!
What up, dude? He sounds a little different than normal, almost overly enthusiastic. He brandishes a plastic bag filled to the brim with different snacks. Wow, you just had these lying around?
Oh no, I ran to the store really quick. I didn't know what you liked, so I got a bunch of stuff.
Amazing. He rummages through the bag.
Oops, I forgot drinks.
I laugh. We're in my room. Why are you the one trying to provide everything? He smiles awkwardly.
You're right, that's kind of weird, isn't it? I guess I got a little excited and didn't think too much.
We laugh together before settling on the rug. I prop my laptop on my desk chair. I plug in my DVD player before we carefully insert the Detective Dog disc. The movie starts with a close-up of a dingy street. Several pairs of feet pass by, splashing through the muddy puddles strewn over the cement. Kalei opens a carton of cookies. He holds the box open for me. I take one, savoring the cream filling sandwiched between the two chocolate biscuits. He opens a bag of spicy chips and sets it on the ground between us. The camera zooms, focusing on the alleyway in the background. A dirty cardboard box comes into view. A small puppy, his fur matted with dirt and blood, lies in the box. I'm Dog. In the future, I'll be Detective Dog. But not now. Now, I'm just a poor orphan dog. We quickly become completely enthralled by the film. The animation is definitely dated, but the voice acting performances and the writing are mesmerizing. The plot is much darker than the other entries in the Detective Dog series, following Dog as he is falsely accused of stealing a rich cat's pearls. The lore continues. On screen, we watch Dog's interrogation. Dog stays quiet as the policeman tries to emotionally manipulate him, promising a warm bed and food if Dog fesses up. I fumble chip out of the bag, enjoying the spicy sweetness. I reach over the bag again when Kalei's fingers ghost over the back of my head. I freeze.
Sorry.
Oh, he blushing, guys. He jerks his hand back. His ears are red.
I'm a little nervous.
Did he do that on purpose? Guys, I think he did that on purpose. What are we thinking, guys? I think we got a little peck. He's been so sweet. I reach over and place my hand on his, squeezing it. By the way, I usually wouldn't. But he's a sweet boy. Then I turn towards him. I hover in front of Kalei's face just long enough that he can sense my intentions. His eyes widen, but he doesn't pull away. I press my lips against his. It's only for a moment, but his skin is warm and soft against mine. I pull away just as quickly, burying my face in my hands. Somehow I had gotten drunk on chocolate cookies, spicy chips, and orphaned animated dogs. Kalei turns away from me. I want to scream. I ruined it. Good going, vibe. The second that you tell Geist to get lost, you decide to act like a creep and a pervert. I could really have used that jerk's intervention if I hadn't known I was going to do something this stupid. Chill, bruh. Now Kalei really won't want to be friends anymore, and he'll feel too awkward to stop the movie, so now he's going to be stuck here with a deviant. Kalei tentatively reaches his hand out, places it over mine, interlacing our fingers. He squeezes my hand. Ooh, some kiss fall in love shit. After our introductory computer science class ended and the new semester started, Kalei and I officially start to date. We often spend our evenings together and we go out on the weekends. Let's go. Nowadays, I invite him to hang out as often as he invites me. Our unspoken rule is that whoever does the inviting gets to choose the movie. I've gotten to know Kalei's friends better too. Mari's a sweet girl who is always caring for others like a mother hen. Naya is level-headed and unflappable, with a penchant for sarcasm. Even Asher isn't a bad guy once you get to know him. He has a tendency to blurt out whatever is on his mind, and he's a little immature, but he genuinely has his own moments. But he's genuinely caring and has his moments. I find myself striking up conversations with other classmates too. We don't become fast friends, but we exchange a few friendly words. Sometimes the interactions are as smooth as butter, and sometimes they're as rough as sliding across sandpaper. But that's okay. I feel myself changing little by little. That man didn't vanish completely. Geist is still hanging around. But whenever he tries to drown my ears in nervous prophecies, I don't respond. It's difficult to ignore him, but he's quieter now, less insistent. His rhetoric has changed a little too. He no longer speaks exclusively in apocalyptic foretellings. Sometimes he watches me open up my 4th cup of instant noodles of the week and says, "That much sodium can't be good for you. Why not cook something?" That's a fair suggestion. When I'm on the couch scrolling mindlessly through social media, he sits next to me and leans to my ear and whispers, "Going for a walk would be better for you than lazing about at home, wouldn't it?" As I sit at my desk, browsing through online shopping portals, he sidles up from behind me and shuts my laptop, saying, "You know you don't have room for frivolous purchases in the budget right now." That's real. His tongue hasn't lost its edge, but those lectures only bring me mild annoyance, not fear. Sometimes I actually take his advice, and sometimes I tell him no. On the occasion, he falls back into old habits, reciting old lines. They don't like you, everyone hates you, you do nothing but ruin everything. But he says them less and less with each passing day. There's a man that follows me. He's always watching, and sometimes he whispers in my ear. I wonder if he'll ever go away. He probably won't. And that's alright. That was an unexpected ending, to be honest. I suppose like a turn of events too. I was expecting this to be more of like a really... Okay, it was definitely toxic, but I was expecting it to be a little more like we almost had a relationship with Geist, and I guess we could have gone that route if we had submitted to him, but we decided not to. And I think we got the good route, or the good ending rather, wouldn't you say? I'd recommend, check it out. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.